Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys all being here. Today's going to be a different video. My first 4 YouTube videos have been mostly about Messi and Barcelona and all that fun stuff that I like to talk about so much on my TikTok. Today's video is going to be about a football player, but it's not going to be about his performances on the pitch. As you guys can tell by the title, of course, I'm going to be talking about Ukrainian fullback for Arsenal, Alexander Zinchenko, who made a lot of news this weekend because on Saturday night, he posted something on his Instagram, which is now privated, about his support for the people of Israel. Obviously, Israel is currently in war with Palestine because Palestine, the group Hamas, attacked them with missiles on early Saturday morning, and the two countries are basically in an all-out war currently, throwing missiles at each other. People are dying. Before we start this video, I want to say this, and I start giving you guys my opinion on Zinchenko and the whole situation. I want to say this. My thoughts and prayers go out to everybody, all the innocent civilians, all the innocent people who are passing away on both sides, the Palestinian and the Israeli side, on this whole conflict. War is a truly awful thing, and nobody ever wins from it. And it's mostly innocent people that just end up dying and losing their life senselessly. All the mothers who have lost children, all the children who have lost their parents, all the people who have lost their homes, who don't have running water, who don't have food. It's awful. Honestly, it makes me almost tear up talking about it because it's a truly sad situation, and nobody ever wins from it. As a kid who's from Syria, who has family from Syria, who has had family pass away in that civil war that's been going on for the past decade in Syria, who has seen their grandparents' childhood homes be destroyed and in ruins, it's awful, truly. I'm not gonna say I know where you're coming from because I'm not there. I'm not a child of war, but it is an awful situation. So I wanted to talk about that and get that out of the way first of all, and now to actually get into my opinion. I talked a lot about Zinchenko on my post-match review between Arsenal and Man City that I made on my TikTok yesterday. And by the words I said about him, a lot of you guys can probably tell what side I'm on. Now, I said that I hope Zinchenko slips and breaks his nose, and that Kovacic, instead of tackling Odegaard like that, would have tackled Zinchenko, and I hope he scored an own goal. So if you're hearing me say that here, you probably know that I'm on the Palestinian side. Now, I want to say this as well. My opinion is not willy-nilly. I didn't watch a crash course video on YouTube. I didn't read a Wikipedia article and just come to this conclusion. My opinion is very well educated, in my opinion. I'm a person who loves history, world history, any type of history, and I've done a lot of research on this topic, and my research has concluded me to land on the Palestinian side of things. Now, if you've done your research independently and you've concluded that you're on the Israeli side of things, that's fine. And if you hate me now because I'm on the Palestinian side, if you think I'm a douchebag, if you were a big fan of me before and now you think I'm a douche and I'm an asshole and you want to unfollow me and unsubscribe to me on YouTube and TikTok or whatever, I totally get that. That's fine. However, I want to say this. These are topics that I'm never going to shy away from talking from. I'm not a person who's like, I don't get into politics and I don't want to alienate my viewers. I talk about whatever I want to talk about. I have strong opinions and I stand by those opinions. And if you don't like that, then I'm sorry. You can go find someone else who's not going to talk about that. But on this channel, on my TikTok, on here, I'm going to talk about those issues because I care about them and I'm passionate about them. So with all that being said, I obviously, like I said, I support the Palestinian side. And Zinchenko made it very clear that he stands with the Israelis. And this brings up a bigger conversation that I want to have with you guys. Should athletes really be speaking out about political or social issues? My opinion is yes. I enjoy when athletes speak out about different issues. Like, obviously, as you guys know, my OG TikTok viewers who are watching this, I'm a huge LeBron James fan. He's my favorite athlete along with Messi. This pillow, the lapillo, it's Messi and it's Braun. It's both of them. I love both of these guys. They're very different when it comes to social issues. Messi doesn't speak out about anything. Braun is very outspoken when it comes to the Black Lives Matter movement and racial inequalities in the United States specifically. And that's something that I admire a lot about LeBron. I love when he speaks about stuff like that. It makes me more of a fan, to be honest. So obviously, I'm all for athletes. One of my favorite athletes of all time is very outspoken. However, there's different things to be outspoken about in different issues. When it comes to the police brutality and racial inequality issue in America, I don't think it should be a very polarizing issue because to me there's a right and a wrong, right? When you look at guys like Tamir Rice, Philando Castile, Sandra Bland, Eric Garner, all these different cases, George Floyd, people have been brutally killed by police without any cause, and it's been caught on video. And there's no other side to that. If you don't support, if you don't think that's a real issue in America, you're just a prick and an asshole, and you're an ignorant person. So that's not to me a polarizing issue, even though people make it polarizing. The Zinchenko thing is different because the whole Ukraine-Palestine conflict, even though I believe I'm pretty well versed in it, I still don't know everything about it, and I've read about it a fuck ton, okay? I'm not the most educated on the issue. I would never say that because obviously there's historians and all these different people who have, it's basically their job to talk about it. But I would like to say when it comes to like this space on social media and sports social media, I'm about as well as educated as there is on this topic, and I still don't know everything about it. Since post World War II, it's been an ongoing battle between them. When there's so many other factors that come into this because it's obviously political. But when Zinchenko posts stuff like that, you're alienating so many people that like you. When people say, I don't watch the NBA because they support BLM, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. I'm saying that to your face right now. If you're watching this video, you're a fucking idiot. That's the reason why you don't watch the NBA, because you support BLM and you don't think that's a real thing. You're a fucking idiot. And I'm sorry, but the NBA does not miss you. Zinchenko, on the other hand, you have so many, like, first of all, one of your teammates, Mohammed Al-Nani, is a Muslim person. He supports, not a Muslim person, but he practices the Islam religion. He's Muslim. He's a Muslim man, okay? And a lot of your fans, I would like to say that Arsenal has the most fans that practice Islam in the Premier League. I don't have the statistics on that, but I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends who are Muslim support Arsenal. They have a huge Muslim following, Islamic following around the globe. Everywhere, whether it's in England or in the United States or in Saudi Arabia, Arsenal is a huge club when it comes to the Islamic population. And when you're posting stuff like that, not only are you alienating some of your teammates, but you're alienating a lot of those fans that support you and that love you. And then now feel the need to not like you anymore, because you're obviously making it known that you don't support their battle and their struggle and their fight for independence, which is what Palestine has been trying to do for fucking almost centuries at this point, honestly. So posting stuff like that, you gain nothing from that. You gain nothing from them. You could have kept that opinion to yourself. And I'm not saying that but I'm not saying that people shouldn't be speaking their mind if that's how Zinchenko feels. But what I am saying is there's certain issues you should just leave alone. And you know what pisses me off the most, and people have been pointing this out, rightfully so. I know for a fact that if an Arsenal player would have posted the opposite in support of Palestine, they would be looked at differently. They would be reprimanded. They would be asked to apologize publicly. But because it's Zinchenko, and he's a white player, obviously, and he's supporting a majority white state, which is Israelis. I know whether you want to talk about Judaism being a ethnicity, I mean, most Jewish people are white when it comes to skin color. And, you know, they're looked at differently than brown people and Middle Eastern people. Because we see it's very prevalent with the whole refugee situation. When there's refugees from the Middle Eastern countries like Syria, Western countries don't want to touch them. Don't come to the States. Syrian people, don't you dare come to the United States. Don't go to England. Don't go to Belgium. Don't go to Germany. Stay the fuck away from us. But when it's countries like Ukraine, when they get invaded, we'll welcome you in. Open arms. Come over here. Because obviously Middle Eastern people have this reputation of being terrorists and bad people. And white people can never do anything wrong, which to me is very upsetting as a person who has family and is from the Middle East. And obviously there's the whole thing with Mesut Ozil, who was basically jettisoned out of Arsenal because he posted his support for the Uyghur Muslims in China. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly, by the way. And, you know, it's not exactly an apples comparison, because obviously Ozil had a lot of factors outside of that made Arsenal want to get rid of him. But Ozil was mistreated by the club when it came to that. They didn't back him. They didn't support him when it came to his opinion. One guy supporting Islamic views and one guy supporting Jewish views. I mean, it's really that simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is why Mesut Ozil was kicked out of Arsenal. And Zinchenko hasn't been asked to apologize publicly. He hasn't been reprimanded by the club. No public statement has come out saying we don't condone his behavior. Why is that? Why is that happening? To me, it's very upsetting. And I know that people who are Muslim and who are Palestinian and who are Arsenal supporters find that probably very upsetting as well. So that's really what I wanted to say. I think there's a huge double standard when it comes to people who support, you know, brown and Middle Eastern people, and when people support, you know, white and Jewish people. There's obviously a lot of political issues that go into that, which I'm not going to get into right now, but you guys know what it is, and the media manipulation that goes into it as well. So you guys know about that. If you don't, do your research independently about that. So I think that it's okay to be outspoken, but pick the issues where you're outspoken. Pick the issues wisely. LeBron James, I don't like when he talked about the China situation with the Hong Kong situation. Now I think that people use that as a straw man to basically try and deflect from everything else he talks about. But I thought LeBron was uneducated when it came to that topic, and I didn't support him talking about that, because I do think that Hong Kong deserves its freedom from China and the Chinese government and Chinese rule. But you know what? He left it alone, and he got his backlash, and it's over now. Zinchenko, for you to be doing that, upsetting in my opinion, and you're alienating a lot of fans and a lot of teammates that you didn't need to do that. You could just kept that opinion to yourself. And Arsenal, you know, they're not going to reprimand them. We know by now, because I haven't said anything in the past 2 days, and it obviously happened on Saturday, and it's Monday now, so they're not going to do anything about that. So there's a lot of double standards going on in this situation. I'm sure as a lot of people have pointed out. But yeah, that's my opinion on it. I'd love to know what you guys think. If this video pissed you off and you hate me now, I'm sorry about that, but I'm not really going to change for you or for anybody. If you like this video, let me know by leaving a like. I fucking love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be announcing the giveaway winner on the next video that I make, so stay tuned for that, the EAFC 24 one. And yeah, I fucking love you guys. Thank you for watching, and have a blessed day. Peace out.